Hi, this is Excel Chapter 9, Guided Project 9-3, Movie Number 1. I wanted to take a second to review the download information. So notice that in addition to downloading our instructions and our start file, we also have a resources file. So when you download that resources file, you're going to get a zipped file. So you will want to click on that zipped file. It will come up and it looks like it's usable, but when you click on it, if you come up to this window, you know you can't really use those files. So I'm going to say extract all. Just make a note of where it's being extracted to. In my case, it's going right back to downloads in a folder. I already did it, so I'm replacing it. Now I see that same subfolder, but look, the extract is not there. So now you know you have the file that you need. So when we look at the instructions for 9.3, we're going to note that the file that you open with is the start file. But if you look down here at step 3, we're same name, but it has macros on it. It has instead of Clemson, it's Clemson macros. So you just want to keep that straight in your mind. The macros one is the resources one. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Excel file that begins with your name. And I'm going to enable, and there we go. So now I have the main file, the start file, opened. Okay. So if you had not completed this security and developer tab step number 2 in your pause and practice, you would need to do that now. My recommendation, though, is just leave those settings so you don't have to do this each time. So like when the instructions say remove developer tab, just don't. Just leave it there. Okay, so step 3 now has us open up the macro file. And so I'm going to go to my file folders and find, in mine it's in downloads. So if I want to show you in downloads, you see it's got 2 of the same name, but this one has the zipper. So you want to stay away from that one once you extract it. You want to find the folder that doesn't have the zipper, that has the 9.3 in it. Open it up. There's the extracted. Open that up, and there's your Clemson macros 9. So we're going to open that file up, and we really have 2 files, open. We want to enable that. Enable, because it has macros. Let me bring that back up. So it's going to take a little juggling, guys. Just always verify up here in the title bar whether you're in the one that says macros or you're in the one that has your name in it. Okay. So we have it open, but we're going to... Okay, so in step 4, it says return to the one that begins with your name. So I'm going to click up here on this file. You see I kind of have them stacked. So I'm going to click on this file so I can see it at the top. It's the one with my name. Click the new sheet worksheet tab to insert a new blank worksheet. So we're going to click on the plus sign, and we're going to call that first run. Now what I want to do is I'm going to press the Control-Shift-Q, which is a macro that is set to run with those key combinations. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. I'm over here, Control-Shift-Q. Second quarter procedures is typed into cell A3, and cell A4 is the active cell. That's what that macro does, okay? So let's go see actually what it the macro is. So it says number 7, edit the macro in Visual Basic. So the macro is actually in Clemson Macro 9, which I have to have loaded in order to run. So I'm going to click on, I'm going to come down here to my little Excel thing, and I'm going to move over to the one that starts with Clemson, and it's going to pop on top of the one that has my name. We're going to go to the Developer tab, Macros, Edit. So it brings us to the Visual Basic for applications, and here's our macro. Look, Control-Shift-Q executed it. It's called Quarter Label, and this is what it does. It selects A3, so it's like you clicked in A3, and then in that active cell, it types in second quarter procedures, and it moves down to A4. That's all that macro does. What they want us to do is change the word quarter to quarterly. Instead of second quarter, they want it to be quarterly. So I'm going to get rid of the word second, and I'm going to add an LY and make it quarterly procedures. Instead of going to A4 afterwards, I want to click and go to A6. So let's just make sure I have everything. Edit, change second quarter to quarterly, and change A4 to A6. I'm good. So I'm going to save, click back over to Excel. I actually can close that Visual Basic window. I am back in my Clemson macros. I want to get back to the one with my name, so I'm going to click back on that one and add a new one that says, a new sheet that says Edit, Run, Enter. And now I'm going to do a Control-Shift-Q, and look, it says Quarterly Procedures, and it leaves me in A6. So we were able to do that. So it's not so intimidating. Don't get intimidated, especially for these macros that are just recording steps. So like, let's say you have a typo in a macro. You don't have to start over. You can edit it and fix it, right? You don't have to re-establish it, rebuild it. All right. I'm going to stop this movie and pick up with step 8 in the next movie. Thank you.